Zippers up live at Royal Stadium. We'll have the post-game story of tonight's gut-wrenching Cardinal defeat coming up. There will be a Game 7 tomorrow.
Now, Channel 2 News, St. Louis.
Good evening, but it is certainly a better evening for the fans of the Kansas City Royals tonight. The team from the west end of I-70 is drawn even with the Cardinals with tonight's big win. And Channel 2 Zipper Zipper is in Kansas City now. He has a live report.
Well, this loss tonight, very, very difficult to take. The Cardinals were 2 outs away from the World Championship. Now they will have to go with John Tudor against Brett Saberhagen in Game 7 tomorrow night. In a matter of minutes, we'll be going into the Cardinals clubhouse to get reaction about the 9th inning and about this contest tonight. But right now, let's go live to Bill Davis, who's by the the Royals locker room. Bill?
All right, Royals first baseman Steve Balboni, no question about it. You had to have this one, and it came about in about as dramatic a fashion as one could ever imagine.
Yeah, it was something else. Things didn't look good, but that's how we've been doing it all year. We just had some big hits in the 9th, and we knew we weren't going to give up. That was the whole thing. We went out there. Things didn't look good, but we knew we were just going to go out and battle, and whatever happened, happened.
Jack Clark drops a foul ball. That should have been an out, but you got a second chance at it and stroked a single.
Well, it would have been a tough play, right around that dugout. It's kind of a tough play. I missed one earlier when Willie McGee hit it, and things ended up the same way. It's a tough play.
All right, I want to thank you, and good luck in Game 7.
Thank you.
All right, let's go back to Zip.
All right, Thanks. Bill, with me live right now is Ken Dayley, who pitched a perfect 8th inning. Let's take it in chronological order. You went out to the mound for the 9th inning. Were you surprised when Whitey Herzog took you out of the ball game?
I had an idea that if they pinch hit with the right-hander, that they were going to bring somebody out of the bullpen. He's done that. It's been that way all year. I've been facing left-handers, and the 2 right-handers out there have been facing the right-handers. But tonight just didn't work for us.
Your reaction when Whitey did come out to take you out?
Well, I was disappointed just for the fact that I think if you're a competitor, you want the ball in the game situation, and I was looking forward to it. And needed 3 outs to pick us up a W, and just didn't get that through.
First batter, 9th inning, the controversial call at first base. Could you see it? What did you think of the call?
Well, there was a lot of confusion over there. You got a lot of people running by. The umpire was also on the run. I don't think he got a real good shot at it, but he called the guy safe, and you have to play by that. I guess on the replay it showed he was out, but he doesn't have the luxury of that, and neither does anybody else. So you still have to play with that type of problem.
All right, Ken, thanks for joining us in these tough moments. Game 7 tomorrow night.
That's right.
All right, Ken Dayley, let's go outside right now to Russ Mitchell live outside Royal Stadium.
Well, Zip, as you know, it is a heartbreaker of a night for Cardinals fans. Royals fans are celebrating. Earlier tonight, Cardinals fans were celebrating until the Royals scored 2 runs in the 9th inning. Earlier tonight, we talked to a group of fans who said they knew tonight would be the Cardinals' night. Welcome to the far right field stands at Royal Stadium, otherwise known as Parking Lot B.
One more game.
About 50 Redbird fans from St. Louis made the trip west this morning to sit outside the stadium and cheer. They got to see the game on TV.
Never planned on buying tickets. We're just going to sit right here and listen to the Cardinals win the series.
We're here where it's going to happen instead of 200 miles to the east.
Most of the folks brought their own munchies. I'll tell you, this was a real parking lot picnic.
What's up, burger?
A lot of people think you're crazy.
They're the ones that are crazy. I'm here. Where are they? They're at home watching this.
Again, a heartbreaker of a night for Cardinals fans. Should be a classic showdown tomorrow night in Game 7. Right now, let's go to Channel 2's Bill Davis inside Royal Stadium. Bill?
Okay, Russell, thank you very much. It was a heartbreaker for the Cardinals, but as there is heartbreak in the Cardinal clubhouse, there is quite a lot of joy in the Royals dugout. Buddy Biancalana, what went through your mind when you saw Dane Iorg stroke the hit?
Well, I'll tell you what, I was sitting on the bench and I almost beat Sundberg to home plate. I was probably 3 or 4 feet away from the play. closer than the umpire was, and I was the first one out there, so I was going a little crazy myself.
There can be little question. You obviously had to have this. What a performance by Leibrandt. He retired 15 Cardinals in a row before someone touched him.
I didn't realize that, but all I know is he had his best stuff, and you know, it's a pleasure to play behind a guy like that. You know the ball's going to be coming your way, and he was outstanding.
There's this thing in sport called momentum. Do you have it?
I'll tell you what, if there is such a thing, we have it. There's no doubt about it, and you know, a win like this will definitely carry us into tomorrow night, and we'll come out and play. It's going to be a classic matchup with Tudor and Saberhagen. They're probably two of the best pitchers in baseball, and
go ahead.
It's going to be a fine game, I can tell you that.
Tudor's a tough cookie. You had some trouble with him first time around.
On the first game, we did have trouble with him, but he wasn't as effective as he was in game, I'm getting confused now, 4 or 5, whatever it was, 4 I believe. And he was really outstanding in game 4, unhittable, and we just hope we can get to him tomorrow night.
Okay, thanks much, buddy, for taking time out. Appreciate it. Let's go back to Zip Rosado.
All right, Bill, we'll have more of the post-game story coming up in just a few minutes. Right now, let's go back to Don.
All right, thanks a lot, Zip. It is a surprising night. I had the score wrong and the wrong team winning, I'm afraid.
I had my script already typed out. It was 1-0. Cardinals win the World Series.
Well, you got to go out and do it tomorrow, I guess.
They have to wait one more day.
How did we get here anyway, Greg?
Pardon me?
How did we get to this point anyway?
That's right. The Cardinals were trying to win their 10th World Series tonight, but as we all just watched, it'll have to wait one more day as the Royals edged out the Redbirds 2-1, so the series is all knotted up at 3 apiece. Let's go to the videotape and watch the highlights. We pick it up now after Landrum flew out to start the 8th inning. Pendleton singled right here to right. After Cedeno walked and Porter struck out, Brian Harper, pinch hitting for Danny Cox, strokes this looper to center field, scoring Terry Pendleton, and it gave the Cardinals a 1-0 lead. That looked like a winner. Todd Worrell came in the 9th inning, and this was really unbelievable. George Orta with the soft grounder, tossed to Worrell. The umpire said he was safe. However, he was clearly out, as the replays show. Then Steve Balboni with this base hit to left field, and the runners are now in scoring position at first and second. Then Worrell and Porter got crossed up on their signals right here. A passed ball, and the runners advanced to second and third. They walked Hal McRae to load the bases, and then Dane Iorg, the former Redbird, singled to right field. 1 run scored, tying the game. Van Slyke with the throw. Sundberg slides in safely, and the Royals win it 2-1, forcing a 7th and final game tomorrow night. And I'll be back with more highlights and interviews later in sports.
We'll look for that. It's been some strange umpiring in this series.
The thing about a die-hard baseball fan is, as you know the phrase, it ain't over till it's over. And as long as there's a glimmer of hope in there.
Well, I was pitching well, but Cox was pitching just as well. I want to know who put out the word that he has a sore elbow. The guy with a sore elbow can't possibly throw that good. He was even better than he was in Game 2. He threw me a couple pitches that I had no business swinging at, pitches down in the dirt, but he pitched a great game also. It's just been a great series up till now.
As we mentioned, Quiz gets the win, but it doesn't bother you one bit, does it?
Not one bit. I wouldn't care if I won 1 or lost 3, but as long as we win 4 and win the series, that's what means the most right now. We got some clutch hits there in the 9th inning. Dane Iorg's big base hit to drive in 2 runs and send us into a 7th game.
What was your best stuff tonight?
Well, I had pretty much everything working for me. My control was exceptional. Fastball, changeup, curveball. I was getting ahead of hitters and making them hit my pitch most of the night. Even the pitch that Harper hit for the base hit, I thought I got in on him, and he got his hands out and sent the ball where we didn't have anybody playing. The time was tough, but Quisenberry came in and held him, and then we got the 2 runs in the 9th to win it.
Charlie, thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Nice job. And here's the guy, the man of the hour, the guy that won it in the bottom of the 9th with the base hit, with the bases loaded. Coming off the bench is no easy task to do that in front of a nationwide audience, in front of all of the people here at Royal Stadium.
Well, it's not easy, but I've done it enough times that I think that I'm very prepared to hit in that situation, and just thrilled that I could come through.
What did you hit?
I hit a fastball, inside fastball. I think it was inside. I'd like to see it on replay. I don't exactly know the location of the pitch, but it was definitely a fastball. Jammed me, but I got enough of it and had a good enough stroke to hit a line drive and get it for a base hit.
Your thoughts when you watched it drop for the hit?
Well, as soon as I hit it, I knew it was a base hit. Then my mind was upon the guy at second base, hoping that he would score. And so between first and second, I kind of watched the home plate to make sure that whoever was on second base, I can't remember who it was, that he scored, and I saw him head first slide and make it, and then it was, thrilling.
All right, Dane Iorg, thank you very much for talking with us. Appreciate it.
You're welcome, Bill.
Let's go back to Zip Rizeppa.
All right, Bill, I'm standing outside the Cardinal clubhouse. We have been prohibited from going inside the clubhouse by a rule cited by the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball. The ruling had absolutely nothing to do with the gut-wrenching defeat the Cardinals suffered here. We will be allowed to go in after Game 7, but we cannot transmit live signals out of the Cardinal clubhouse tonight. We will be back, though, with more on tonight's loss for the Cardinals and a preview of Game 7 coming up. Stay with us.
Stadium again to Zip Rizeppa for some final thoughts on tonight's ballgame. Zip.
Well, Greg, this is a very, very tough defeat to take. Anytime you're 2 outs away from the World Championship and don't win that World Championship, it's got to be a very painful experience. The faces of the Cardinals were something to see as they came down this tunnel to their clubhouse after the game. A couple of the players loudly cursing and swearing as they made their way past. Others' faces were writhing in the pain of the defeat, and it just wasn't a very happy sight. They were 2 outs away, as you know, and didn't get it done. However, they will have a chance. Tomorrow in Game 7, it'll be John Tudor against Brett Saberhagen, a matchup of the respective aces of these two ball clubs. Royal Stadium once again will be packed. By the way, the fans stayed here about 20 minutes after the game ended, cheering wildly as the Heroes came back onto the field and then went back to the clubhouse. So it was a wild scene here. The Cardinals will have to beat the Royals here at Royal Stadium tomorrow in Game 7 in order to win the World Championship. We'll be back with a live preview tomorrow on Channel 2 News at 5. You, of course, will see the game in its entirety live on Channel 2 with game time at 7:20, and then we'll have the post-game story of the deciding game of the World Series tomorrow night. That's it for now. Most of the Cardinals are dressed. They're ready to go back to the hotel, get a good night's rest, try to forget about this one, and come out and win it tomorrow. Greg?
Thanks, Zip. You know, there were a lot of good plays, key plays in tonight's game that didn't show up in the highlights tape but are worth mentioning. For instance, in the first inning, Lonnie Smith led off with a double, moved to third on a ground out, and then Danny Cox struck out George Brett right there. Frank White then grounded out to end the inning, and Cox got out of it. Brett obviously didn't like that called third strike. Second inning now, this is vintage Ozzie Smith. This is why they call him the Wizard. A great play off the bat of Buddy Biancalana, and that ended the inning. In the fourth inning now, Frank White at first base, and Darrell Porter throws him out trying to steal second. Pat Sheridan then singled, and that could have been an RBI single if White had successfully stolen the base. Sixth inning now, with Leibrandt looking more and more like Don Larson, Cesar Cedeno bloops a single to left for the Cards' first hit, and that spoiled Leibrandt's no-hitter. Later in the sixth, runners at first and second, no out. Danny Cox, a sacrifice bunt, but it pops out to Brett, and the runners couldn't advance, and then Ozzie grounded into a 6-4-3 double play to end the inning. In the seventh, runners at first and second, 2 out. Hauser had a decision to make. With no designated hitter in this World Series, do you bat Charlie Leibrandt, the pitcher, or pinch hit for him, even though he's pitching a great game? Hauser elected to have Leibrandt bat, and he struck out to end the threat and the inning. Then, in the ninth inning, this is perhaps the play of the game. George Orta with a ground ball to Jack Clark, the flip to Todd Worrell for an apparent out. Look it, he's out by a mile. The umpire ruled he was safe. Here it is again in slow motion replay from a different angle, and again, this replay will show that Orta is out by more than a half step. Then, Steve Balboni, the next batter, pops this one between home and first base, a mix-up between Jack Clark and Darrell Porter. The ball falls safely. Here it is again in slow motion. Jack obviously worried about the dugout steps. The ball hits the ground and bounces into the stands. So Balboni was safe. He later singled, and then so did Dane Iorg, the former Redbird, with the bases loaded. 1 run scores. Here comes the second run. A great throw by Andy Van Slyke, but Sundberg slides in safely as the Royals win it 2-1. Still ahead, the Blues highlight